All right, people. So I'm gonna give you guys a reaction to "Why Artists Are Boycotting Pinterest" by Muhammad, right? Big content creator. Did not watch the video as always, so I'll give you guys a pure reaction video. So enough of me talking. Let's get into it. It's funny when people say that because you're gonna still be talking, but you want to see the content that I'm reacting to, right? So let's get it. Turn off the background music and let's go.
Since the dawn of time, Pinterest has been every artist's #1 choice when searching for things to draw or just casually building a reference board for an OC you're trying to create. But in the new age,
J.C. Linedecker, Norman Rockwell, that was the coming of age Americana art style. I believe that was around the 1950s, if I'm mistaken. One of my professors when I was in art school, I don't know if he's still alive, but yeah, he was a big fan of that type of art style.
of the internet, Pinterest has somehow become absolutely hated by every single artist in the art community.
Is it just me, or is Pinterest ads just way more in your face?
Pinterest quality has been declining significantly.
I'm not a Pinterest hater, but the ads have to stop.
Pinterest just changed this and it's so annoying.
Opening Pinterest in 2024. I forgot that people even still use Pinterest.
So things like your sections, pins, and boards are more accessible, which they already were, and literally no one was complaining about that in the first place. And when people logged back into their accounts after the unprovoked and likewise crucially unnecessary updates, they started to notice a few unnecessary changes that could potentially become a pain in the ass rather sooner than later. Users started complaining about seeing less and less results when searching for images to use for inspiration, and the algorithm shoving down images that are literally the exact same version of an image you just pinned with little to no changes, which ideally shouldn't even be a problem, because if I'm on Pinterest and I save an image or pin it to a board, I'm expecting the algorithm to show me similar images with pretty much the same aesthetic, but also leave room to other images to show up on my feed, which could also end up being inspiring. Isn't that how an algorithm is supposed to work generally? Users also complained about not being able to filter the search bar to search by just pins only, but instead has the option for searching for boards, user profiles, and whatnot. Lucky for me, I didn't really find this a jarring problem because I wasn't searching for something in particular, and mostly I'm just looking for images I can use as reference to draw from when I'm studying, or bits and pieces of poses and clothing or random items.
Yeah, taking Pinterest as inspiration. I guess artists are complaining that their algorithm, their search engine is not as intuitive as they hope for.
I can draw on my character when I'm trying to make an OC. They apparently also combined regular pins and idea pins in one place and made it so when you're trying to upload a pin, it repeatedly fails, saying the pin is too big and not allowing you to upload it entirely. And a personal gripe I have, and I'm sure others have as well, is why can't I just click on the Pinterest icon at the top left corner and it takes me to the home page without having to go through the drop down menu with other options for something that could be done in one? I mean, I know you could do.
I mean, can't you just take a screenshot? You can't take no screenshot? Are people allergic or they don't know how to take screenshots? Because you do know you can, right? I mean, that's the whole point. You're taking it as inspiration. Do you really need a high-res image as inspiration? I don't think so, pal. I don't think so.
That was how it worked before you decided to change it. So why don't you just, I don't know, put it back to the way it was before maybe? Other Pinterest users have also complained about some of these slightly inconvenient issues. But the problem that I've seen, which is absolutely ruining the experience for every single person using Pinterest, from the elite down to the peasants like you and I, unfortunately, are the ads. Every single time I scroll through Pinterest, I am bombarded with ads on every single page across my feed.
Well, they're paying for Pinterest. That's the whole point of ads. Just like your video has ads. Ads are what's paying Pinterest of still being on the site. The platform exists because of ads. If ads, are not something you want to participate in as your user experience, then Pinterest should have something like YouTube Premium where you pay. So you pay for a membership. So then that way you have a better user experience and you don't have to deal with no ads. But if you don't want to pay, then someone else has to pay. And then that's why you got the ads always in your face.
Line after line, there's always an ad just waiting there amongst the rest of the images, patiently hoping for me to click it when we clearly both know I am not clicking that at all, because it literally says sponsored at the bottom, and I'm far from interested in that. Where it even becomes more annoying is, not only are we being spoon-fed with ad after ad, most of the ads are completely irrelevant to whatever it is I searched for, and they have nothing to do with the content on my homepage, so why am I even seeing them in the first place? Make it make sense. Like,
Well, because advertisers are the ones who are paying for Pinterest, not you or I. But they need to fix their digital marketing because they're not putting the ads that you're interested in, right? They're not showing the new Wacom in 2Ls. They're not showing any type of new Adobe or new Procreate programs. They're not showing any new type of art utensils that you're interested in. So they need to fix that, absolutely. However, at the same time, if they should have an option like YouTube Premium so you don't have to deal with ads. When I watch this video, you have ads, right? So you're getting money off of that, right? So that's just how businesses work. If you don't want ads, then you will have to pay, and most people don't want to pay, so you got to deal with ads.
give me a valid reason why I'm seeing an ad for dishwashing soap when I search for reference for drawing a stormtrooper playing soccer. What do those things have in common? Why am I seeing an ad for tile?
Because of digital marketing, that's why. They're not creating specific filters based upon your search engine optimization. That's the issue. And besides, even if they fix that, most people don't. Ads are not meant for you to click on it as a CTA. It's supposed to affect your subconscious. You know, yes, they have learned more CTAs, but in the end of the day, it's not meant for you to like click on it and buy it as a full transaction. Most of the time, it's to stay relevant. So that way, as you're scrolling over and over on your phone or on your computer, just like in movies, right, they will have product placement. When you see the product, you're not going to automatically go on your phone like, oh my God, look at that Burger King or McDonald's that just happened right there. Like, that's the best analogy, because if you see superhero movies, they'll have product placement, right? And those product placement has nothing to do with the movie at all. But by seeing it, your subconscious is going to remember that. So then let's say you're driving, about to drive home, you remember that product in the movie and you see it as you're driving by. And for some reason, you're going to like uncontrollably might even go to the actual store and buy that product. So again, advertisement is about relevancy. It's about exposure more than just the call to action to make a transaction. So if you guys disagree with me, or if you agree with me, share your thoughts down below.
All in all, when I'm practicing drawing feet, make it make sense. Shopify ads and ads for eBay and other e-commerce websites have overrun the platform and sometimes show up in places where you wouldn't expect them to be. But then again, you keep on seeing the same set of ads repeated over and over in your homepage, and they end up taking the same space as a normal.
Yeah, but then your video will have an ad of vehicles. You know what I'm saying? Like, your videos doesn't have an ad, and I'm not disagreeing with him. I'm just saying for everybody out here, right? You know, shout out to his channel, because his artwork is amazing, by the way. Not to add glaze, I'm just being honest. But yeah, his advertisement doesn't show anything related to artwork. So what am I gonna make a video complain about YouTube's algorithm? Like, how come the ads are not relevant or reflective of the videos that I'm watching? Because it's an ad. They don't always move with a fine toothbrush or a fine comb with the logistics of the theme of the video or the topics of the videos. They just want to just blatantly put their stuff out there.
Normal pin. The amount of times I found myself clicking an ad and being sent off to another page just because I thought the ad was somehow part of the images I searched from is literally crazy. But what's more exciting about this is other people have the same problem as me as well.
Pinterest is becoming unusable and I just need to talk about it. I love Pinterest. I have used it for as long as I can remember. I scroll through it almost every day. Everything from the way my house is decorated, to the clothes I wear, to the makeup I do, to the hairstyles I do, is inspired by what I find on Pinterest, but it is literally becoming impossible to use. Everything is either an ad or now an AI image, and it is driving me insane. Let me show you what I mean. This is just a short little clip of me scrolling through my main feed, and almost every other post is an ad. This is me just searching garden, and almost everything is AI generated. Like, what is that cat? I keep scrolling, and like, you literally click on anything, and it's like, this is so obviously AI, and it's so frustrating. I want actual images. Like, those wood beams are curved, the picture doesn't make sense. If you wanted to search cottage and see real pictures of actual houses, good luck, because
They're cutting corners. Okay. Yeah, Pinterest is cutting corners. They don't, now correct me if I'm wrong. It seems as if instead of maybe hiring photographers and you have to, well, they're going to charge you, right? The photographer's going to charge them for the images being captured. Instead of doing that, they're just going to use AI, because AI is fair use, right? You can't own AI. You can't say, hey, I made this AI image, I deserve, compensation for that. In order for you to use my AI image, you have to pay me X, Y, and Z. Cannot do that. But photography, you can. So Pinterest is leaning more towards it becoming less quality and more quantity, right? So I can see the complaint. However, if you're just looking at something as inspiration, is that much of a problem? Like, I could understand if you want high photography where you can take this and you may want like a print out of it or whatever. But again, if you're just looking at it from the sole purpose of reference, there are other platforms that, like, I think it's called Pixels, Pexels. They still have that. It has nothing to do with AI. Correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of it is just average Joes like me and you taking pictures and giving it out for free as stock images. But what I'm seeing here is, yeah, if you're not a fan of AI, there are other platforms other than Pinterest.
literally everything is just AI generated and fake, or an ad like those puzzle ads, and it is exhausting.
A couple years ago, I always saw posts about how Pinterest was the last quiet or peaceful social media with no crazy videos or ads, and
People got to get paid. That's the reality of it. A lot of these platforms are not, some of these platforms are not doing so well because of the competition, because of the oversaturation of our eyes in terms of entertainment. So eventually you either got two options. Either you adapt with whatever's going on, or you stay true to yourself and not really make much of a profit as far as your profit margin. And then eventually it goes away, you know? So they decided to adapt. And by doing that, they have sacrificed their original integrity.
now it's just another ad-riddled AI hellscape. I've been with them since the beginning. Now when I search bar carts in dining room, all I get are actually bar carts from Wayfair to buy. There's no more decor tips. I've been with Pinterest since it was in beta mode, and it was my absolute favorite for so long. It's completely unusable now. I don't think I've added a new pin in 2 years. It's so sad. As a visual creature, Pinterest dying is like a real single person is sharing their heartfelt messages about how Pinterest used to be the one and only source of visual inspiration to stimulate their brains and ignite that tiny little spark of creativity. But now it has sadly become a mush of sponsored ads and generated images, leaving you completely clueless as to which image is real and which one isn't. I used to be addicted and will save
I don't think, to me, if you want to make artwork, what difference does it really make if you're just taking it as a sample, as inspiration? You're not, like, what's the relevancy of questioning its integrity of it being AI or not? If you're just taking certain parts as inspiration, you're not taking it as it is, as a, like, oh my God, the inspiration needs to be photography based. It needs to be authentic. And since it's not, how dare you, Pinterest? I need the real deal. Like, I just don't. I think it's just exaggerated algorithm rage, in my opinion. Again, that's just my opinion.
Save 20 plus pins a day. Now I save a pin every 3 months, or if I have a very specific board idea. And if you search anything, it's just products and not inspiration. I used to spend entire.
And to be fair, it's a very niche market for artists taking stuff as inspiration. There are other people who are using it for other reasons, right? So Pinterest is not going to cater towards the niche market. They're going to cater towards the masses. And if the masses are not complaining about it, then it's just going to continue doing what they're doing and cutting corners, lowering down their quality.
Days scrolling through Pinterest searching for the perfect reference photo with dynamic lighting so I could pin them to each of my different boards when I had to draw a character. But now I barely even check the app on my phone or my computer, and I find myself drawing mostly from images on Instagram and Twitter. It's so sad. What has
Taxes was
Texas waiting for the clock. He's looking at his water. Ugh, it's taking so long. She's sharpening her pencil. He puts on an apron. He's cooking food. He is looking at this tax preparer while he's cooking. Oh, look at the way he's cooking from these dynamic angles. Oh, montage. Whoa, he checks his phone. Red phone, 4,000 and up. Refund change, TurboTax. And this has nothing to do with his video. But it's an ad. I'll let it play out because it's controversial. They can say it's the controversial. Contradicting itself, right? So that's that.
This is the first place consumers are looking for inspo and shopping.
Like, literally, TurboTax had nothing to do with this video. Are people complaining? No, because we accept that it's an advertisement. That's the whole point. You do the whole jerk like, duh, right? Let me get closer to it. Duh. Advertisement, duh. So that's that. Let's continue.
Well, no shit, Sherlock. I'm obviously on Pinterest looking for images to be inspired by
listening to this.
Build an aesthetic, if you will.
No, they're not.
And I'm not trying to buy something off of a sponsored post. Other people are also trying to save money by not buying products and are looking for cheaper alternatives that still look aesthetic without having to break the bank. As an artist that uses Pinterest for references,
I'm going to use my voice. As an artist that uses Pinterest for references, it hurts me so much when I come across so much AI because it was usually always just actual artists. As an artist, I need real artwork as inspiration, real photographers, real cameras. You see, this camera's real. Real recognizes real. I don't want nothing fake. Give me the real deal.
it hurts so much when I come across so much drawings have become the new essential commodity on Pinterest. Some Pinterest users and artists as well have expressed their utmost concern for the overwhelming amount of AI images that are being shown to them in their feed or among their pins. While these images could seemingly prove harmless to the common eye, they have grown to become a giant
keyword common eye, which is majority of people, which is the masses. The masses don't care. They're like, hey, that looks cool. Did someone make the artwork? It looks like it's made by an actual artist. Artist, niche market, we know that is AI. So that's that. Also, if they ever make, which I don't know because I don't go on Pinterest, I do a lot of my drawings out of my imagination, or if I'm gathering references, I just Google it. I'll just Google references, right? Or I'll just, like majority of the stuff I've done is just using myself as reference, and I'll lower down the opacity and I'll just draw from there. So that's that. Maybe I'm just in a different realm. That's what it is. Not meaning my realm is better than yours. It's just, that's just my style. But in the end of the day, it's like, if they ever make like a Pinterest premium where they actually have photographers and they'll pay the photographers and they'll have those as stock images for everyday people, but you have to pay a fee, who do you think is going to actually pay for that? Not so much of artists, right? Hence the reason why it's called starving artist. Majority of people that will pay, there's a high percentage will be the masses, and then a small percentage will be artists. And those artists with a small percentage, they actually are doing it for a living rather than just an actual hobby. So that's that.
And thorn in the butt of artists who are just looking for other artists to inspire them, or unique art styles they could learn from and use as reference when trying to build their visual library. Art buddy of mine and everyone's favorite artist Sam Does Art Yang made an interesting video where he took his time to scroll through his Pinterest feed, showing us his timeline almost completely covered with AI images. In the video, he went through some key points about this AI plague on Pinterest and how artists could go about tackling this new obstacle in their art journey.
Pinterest quality has been declining significantly, and it's all thanks to AI. First, let me just see if I can show you guys an example. So from the perspective of an artist searching for inspiration, I'm gonna look up something like art style semi-realistic. And I'm seeing some great pieces from artists that I actually recognize, like Ilya Kushinov over here. So at first glance, this seems like a pretty solid result. You know, I can actually get some inspiration here. But oh, my sweet innocent child, just you wait. We're gonna scroll down here just a little bit.
Sweet innocent child.
Oh my goodness, look at this. What a cool piece. I'm gonna just click on this. Now this piece to me looks a lot like an AI piece, especially with some of these artifacts in the mouth. You know, some of these random elements here that don't really match up with the hair on the other side. You could zoom in and also make a case for the collar looking a little bit weird, but hey, this could also...
Again, if you're taking it as inspiration, why does it matter? It's inspiration. Let's say if I want to draw from, let's say if I struggle drawing from this type of angle, like what you're seeing right there, this is still useful. I'm not going to look into the nooks and cranny of the little detail. Like, wait a minute, this is artificial right here. Like, no, I just want the overall composition that I'm struggling with. And this is still a good reference point to use. I don't see the issue. Let me know down below. So far, I'm not really seeing the issue as inspiration or reference.
Also just be someone's artwork.
At this point, most artists who are experienced can probably tell if an image was made by an actual artist or if it was an AI.
Another thing too, wouldn't you want it to be AI to begin with? Because at least if you're taking something as reference or inspiration, it is considered stock because it's AI. If I'm taking someone's reference of an actual artist and I put it out there, let's say I blatantly just take the whole style, guess what? I'm going to be looked down upon. I'm going to be scrutinized. I'm going to be like, you know, ripped a new one because I'm taking what somebody else already have done and trying to make my own out of it. You know, that's not really glorified in art community, right? You want to do your own rather than copying what everybody else is doing. So that's the perspective that I'm looking at it as.
Image. Aside from most of the details not making sense if you justify them with other elements in the drawing, the images end up looking somehow rushed and lack that careful carelessness of a drawing made by an actual person.
Say I want to look for...
It doesn't matter because it doesn't need to be an actual person because you're taking it as inspiration and reference.
some more artwork in this similar style. Okay, now look at the absolute slop that becomes my feed. None of these are made by humans. I mean, we can just continue scrolling here and it's just non-stop AI slop.
This is a huge problem because the more you keep scrolling and unintentionally adding AI generated images to your boards, the algorithm just keeps feeding you images that are similar to those ones, and the unending cycle continues.
You got options like going on Behance. You could go on Behance. I'm not sponsored by anything. You see how low my channel, how many people are subscribed to this channel. There's so many other outlets, right? If you want to get actual artists. Now, to be fair, right, I'll give them credit on this one if they're going to say it, because I didn't watch this video in its entirety. It's all pure reaction. if there are some AI images, right, and they're showcasing that the hands got like 6 or 7 fingers, and you're gonna follow the reference of that image to the T, well then that's a problem, right? Because the hands are all janky. You got 6 fingers, 7 fingers, right? Because AI is known for not being so predominantly complete when it comes down to the hand anatomy. Even though it's getting better, there's still certain times where the hands are wonky. So if you got to follow that, that's not really good, right? But other than that, I didn't see no real issue with the composition of the girl looking from this type of angle. It's really hard to capture that, and I feel like the AI captured it for reference purposes. I'm not here looking at references to make sure it's an actual artist. No, I'm taking it as reference because I'm going to make my own art out of that, right? Or looking at it from a different panel and then drawing something completely different. You just want the actual composition / angle. So that's that.
Till you end up with your entire For You page filled with only AI art.
You'd be lucky to find one piece like this that was actually made by a human artist. And for me, I can kind of tell that this was made by a human because there are some marks here that look very intentional. I can see where the hand might have followed the stroke of the pen here to create this image. But honestly, sometimes I have trouble discerning between AI and human-made art too. So imagine if you were a new artist and you were just starting out, how in the world would you realize something like this?
The answer to that is it's impossible. At this point, there's just no way a total beginner will be able to tell the difference, especially when the images look like this. They're actually really convincing now, and it's scary. Like, this looks like
That looks fine to me. And again, inspiration. I don't want to, let's just continue playing. I don't want to sound like I'm being a dead horse at this point.
something Alvin Lee or Ilya Kushinov would have drawn, or even you, Sam. This is all partly your fault. Why do you have to be this good?
And the fact that it's getting so good, some of these lines are very convincing. A beginner is going to look at this and think, wow, that's incredible. Someone actually drew this.
If beginners, here's my advice for anybody who are inspired, want to follow a new hobby / passion into art, I suggest looking up speed drawings on YouTube. That's the best way of learning art step by step. I have some speed drawings on this channel. And if you guys want me to do any type of speed drawings, or later on if this channel grows, I could do stuff live where I can show you guys step by step by step by step. That's the best way to learn, rather than just looking at a finished work of art as inspiration. You can do that, but you want to learn more behind the scenes of how it's developed rather than a developed work of art and trying to copy what you're seeing.
In reality, nobody really did. This was just stolen from someone else. Then if you continue scrolling down, again, the whole feed just turns into what? It seems to me like 90% of this feed is AI now. And I'm trying to search for semi-realistic art styles. Now, let me just show you guys something else, okay? What if we want to look for images, okay? I want to study anatomy, muscle anatomy, or muscle mommy. Holy Christ.
I can see you have fine taste, my friend. I'm not judging you, brother. I happen to share the same acquired taste for structurally developed female specimens myself as well.
We're looking for muscles. Now, right away, these images that pop up in the front 2 rows, for the most part, they look pretty good. They seem like real people. But as soon as you start scrolling down, oh, look what happens.
Yeah, that Arnold one right here is clearly, I know I'm blocking it, but it's clearly AI. This one right here is AI. Some of these, like this one, looks AI as well. But here's the thing with that. You can still use them as reference. I don't really care about the integrity of it. It's still good reference if you want to draw muscular characters. I don't see the problem. Unless if the anatomy is off or the hands are off, then I can look at it like, okay, you need to actually have an actual photograph or an actual artist to capture the anatomy properly.
Look at this guy. Hot. Except this man is not real. Look at his thumb. Okay, this is AI slop. And his nipples are looking at me in a way that I do not appreciate. So that's not real.
Is his nipple lactated? You got lactated, muscle-bound nipples. AI, what is going on? That is kind of funny.
Okay, if you want to study anatomy and you base it off of this.
Also, I don't think I've ever seen a six-pack be so small and compact like that before. Like, it's just like there's small, like, rows of 3, and then you just got all of this empty space that just goes down to the V line. I will say that is pretty off. I haven't seen a lot of because I watch a lot of bodybuilding and I've never really seen anybody atomically look like that as far as the abs, and also lactating nipples. Weird. But overall, and then you said the thumb right there, which is like, that's not that big of a deal. But overall, you can still use this as reference if you want to draw a muscular character.
You're going to get the abs all wrong because I don't know what is going on here. Now, why don't we just scroll down and see if we can find something else, something a little bit more reliable. Maybe this one. But once again, this is AI. Again, look at the slop. Look at this belt buckle. It doesn't make any sense. The thumb.
You're not going to take it in this entirety as reference. As reference or inspiration. So you're not going to really draw the belt. You mainly clicked on it as a search engine to capture reference of the muscles itself. So if the muscles are anatomically correct, then to me, this is good to go.
Thumbs don't make any sense. Look at the striations in his deltoids, okay? They do not connect that way. These are your delts. These are your biceps. Your biceps are going to sit in front of your delts, and there's going to be a valley between your delts and your biceps. They do not connect. Now turn your attention back to this slop, okay? Look at this delt. It goes right into the bicep. It connects directly to the bicep. What kind of anatomy is this?
Yeah, again, you don't really have to get that technical. I think in the end of the day, like, if you're still in this learning phase, you're not even going to get to that level yet. So for the overall learning the basics, I think that's still fine. When you start to develop into like intermediate to getting close to an advanced level, that's when you should definitely look at actual photography. Again, I'm not really seeing anything being like completely outrageous. Like, oh my God, the arms are completely off. You should not use this whatsoever.
I tried scrolling down my own feed, but I didn't find any images that were AI generated when I searched for anatomy references. I did see some images that clearly look.
Yeah, this is 3D model right here. This actually looks like a drawing. This one right here. This is photography. You can just tell by the lighting, this is photography. Because AI, their hands are not really good to do this. That's AI's nightmare to capture that. This looks like someone made this of Baki Hama. The anatomy is exaggerated. I would not use this because this is stylized muscle anatomy. And the left right here, I don't know if this is AI because it's very polished. So this might be AI on the left.
Looked suspicious in some places, but nothing really freaky that stood out as generated imagery. I'm thinking this is possibly because the algorithm is basing its search off of the previous images that I've liked and added to my boards, which is why there are some 3D models and great
that's photography.
sculpture,
The lady right there on the
really
left
screamed AI the farther I scrolled. Now I know some people are definitely going to have a different experience scrolling through their own feed, especially because from what it looks like, the generated images mostly pop up when looking through art or looking for art styles. If I search for
Let's do something. Let's actually test this out. Let me go on Pinterest right now. Let's go on Pinterest. Let's see what they're saying in real time. Let's see if it's authentic. Oh man, they want me to sign. Ugh. All right, I'll do it. I'll do it for you guys. I don't even think I've ever signed. Yeah, you know what? Can they allow me to go in without like signing in? Yes, they can. Oh no, they can't. All right, I'll sign up. Make a fake birthday. I was born 1990. No, I was born. I was born 1905. Can't believe I'm still alive. Now I'll put 1965, something like that. I was born 1965. People, I am a young man. Okay, I get it. This is just demonstration purposes. I don't specify. I'm an alien. I'm not. I'm not male or female. I'm an alien. What's my language? It's English, unfortunately. What am I interested in? Drawings, anime, art. I gotta do two more. I'm into health, and I'm into kittens. There we go. Yeah, get out. Okay. We're adding. All right. So let's see something real quick. All right. Look at my feed. Look at my feed. Let's type in muscle. Muscle Mommy pops up. So I guess it's not what you think. Muscle Mommy is just high as far as search engine optimization. Because I just created this account. So he doesn't really watch a lot of Muscle Mommies. Okay, so of course, Lean Beef Patty, right? She's a content creator, so this is an actual photograph. It's funny because I put muscle, not Muscle Mommy, but she still pops up, right? So far, what I'm seeing is actual photographs. I'm not seeing any AI. Maybe this one right here is let me see if you guys don't. Wait. Oh, you guys can't see it. This could probably be AI. Probably. I don't know. This is definitely AI. Okay, now I could kind of see what they're talking about. Let me get out of here though. Let me go back. I could see what they're talking about when you click on one of them. But overall, I'm not seeing that much AI. See, this is AI right here, with that guy, but it's very much of the minority. Everything here seems photography based. This is clearly a caricature. This is AI. So yeah, so what I'm seeing overall is, oh, look at this guy. Remember this guy? the nipple lactating nipples dude. So he's up there. But yeah, so far what I'm seeing, honestly, I'm not really seeing a ton of AI. And you guys just saw it through real time. Me creating an account, being born in 1965. Pretty accurate. But let's get back into the video.
Sam does art style, for example, it shows me mostly Sam's art, but with some exceptions. As you can see, this is clearly not Sam's drawing. It looks like his art style, but is just generated imagery. You can see from the details just how horrible it is at replicating Sam's art style. The details look incredibly wrong and out of place. The eyes are just awful. Everything just feels wrong.
She kind of look cross-eyed a little bit. It's very silky. It has that AI silk to it. Can you still look at this as reference? Sure. Just ignore the eye.
When we scroll down, we can see other images all seemingly generated in the same art style and all equally looking plastic and horrible. You can clearly tell these images have no life to.
Let's put it to the test. Let's type in Sam does art. Sam does art. What do we have here? Okay, so I typed it in, and this is what I got. So far, it looks like his work, right? That's the top first amount of set images, right? The first thing you see, it looks authentic. It looks like he did it. He made these illustrations. I'm not seeing AI. I'm not seeing AI. Trust me, I'm looking. I'm looking like I'm the algorithm. I'm looking. I'm trying to spot it out like the Terminator. Okay, this one isn't, right? That stands out. That's definitely not his work, right? Don't seem like it. So in other words, you gotta really scroll down. Why is he? This has nothing to do. Oh man, just because of the name. Just because of the name, he pops up because they got the same name. This one clearly isn't. All right, so in a nutshell, is majority of it, you could look at it as inspiration if you type in Sam does art. You're not really seeing AI, so I don't really see what he's talking about. But then again, some people got different SEOs on their computer, so that's that. All right, let's get back into it.
Them. They look extremely rigid and don't have the same flair and carefree, confident strokes you'll find in Sam's actual paintings. Sam also mentioned in his video that he spoke to other artists who seemed to have the same problem and said their printer's feed was sadly overrun with AI as well.
So I got interested in this topic.
You guys seen in real time? Did you guys see any AI images that's overwhelming on the first page at the very top? No, not today. Why'd I do that voice? No, let's continue.
Topic, because number one, I've been noticing it. You know, I've been seeing artworks on my feed. I always end up clicking on them, and then I realize it was AI. There was no artist behind it that I could have followed. I got excited for no reason, and my day is now ruined. But not only that, I've also talked to a lot of artists on my Patreon servers, and they've expressed the exact same issues. The most common thing that happens is people find a cool piece of reference or a piece of art, and then they realize is not real.
He also discussed some theories from Reddit which could possibly be the cause of this underlying issue with how AI art has now become rampant on Pinterest. And while most artists were getting fed up and talked about quitting Pinterest and were looking for other alternatives, most of them haven't been lucky finding a platform that just felt special like how Pinterest was. Sam's video is...
What do you mean? There's so many different... I mean, yeah, granted, the user interface, you have a lot of images to work with. Like that's true. However, there are sites like Behance, Pixels if you want photography, Behance if you want designs as inspiration. And I still don't look at the user interface on Pinterest as a horrible platform to use. So far, yeah, you got some AI, but AI is everywhere, unfortunately. And I really don't see much of a problem. You guys seen it yourself. I created the 1965 account.
Really good, so if you haven't seen it, go watch it as well. Viara, who's one of my favorite art YouTubers at the moment, also made a video an eternity ago complaining about similar problems everyone is complaining about right now. Which
I pretty much said what I need to say with this video. It's not really much content for me to. It's like beating a dead horse about my opinion. So let's just read the comments. I'll put back on the background music and let's read some of these comments. Pinterest was the #1 for references, but now it's just AI slops. Forget the ads. There are so much AI art on Pinterest nowadays. Wow. I can't escape it. Plus, they're telling me that I violated the rules, only for them to reverse that decision within a few hours. What rules have you violated on Pinterest? I was fond of Pinterest when it didn't mess with the images, didn't try to sell you slop outside of the occasional ads, and it didn't stop people from filtering out trash from their feed. I hate AI as an artist. Not only, it's always funny. I need to stop saying that too. It sounds so cliche, so prideful. As an artist. It's like, I'll probably get into that into another video because it's a tangent that I really don't want to dive into right now. I hate AI as an artist. Not only does it take the soul away from the art, it's hard to find references of real images of what I want to draw. the anatomy is never perfect. Pinterest used to have so much different, many different creative pictures, but now it's all generic and uninspired. Companies slap an AI and be calling it updated and innovated. Not just art, but even fashion. There are fake AI dresses on there, and the average person can't tell them apart. That's that. So share your thoughts down below, whether or not you agree or disagree with me, and stay tuned because I am gonna still work on these, Marvel Rivals. I do a lot of stuff out of my imagination, so I don't really use Pinterest. I just use myself as reference, taking screenshots of when I work out, and I turn them into creative illustrations, all right, different character designs. So if you're interested in stuff like that, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and yeah, just be on the lookout for those videos, all right? Sound like I'm beating a dead horse. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.